this is Karen.
Shane.
Today we're looking at a lesson called The Dog in the Fight.
AR goggles for dogs.
And the vocabulary words are explosive.
Explosive.
Last week, police arrested a man for attempting to buy illegal explosives.
Rescue.
Rescue.
Several rescue teams were sent to the area to search for the missing fishermen.
Operation.
Operation.
A man in his 20s started an operation to clean up the world's oceans.
Visual.
Visual.
My friend was really impressed by the movie's visual effects.
Hopefully.
Hopefully.
Hopefully, you will recover fully from your illness.
I'm not sick.
You are.
Mentally?
Yeah.
Ill? A little bit.
Okay, so we're talking about like a new technology, a new gadget for the U.S. military.
Right. So right now, the military will use dogs for operations needing to maybe like a rescue mission.
That's right.
Or the dogs need to be sent into like a combat zone or area where it might be dangerous for a human.
That's right.
So they train dogs to do this kind of thing. But as is now, these handlers,
Yes.
the people who handle the dogs, they still have to be pretty close to the dog in order to give him the visual information or cues or something to communicate with the dog.
That's right.
So what do the goggles do?
Well, the goggles are for the dogs to wear, and so basically the dogs can go like at a farther distance, where the handler, they don't have to be too close to them.
Because the goggles have AR.
That's
like
right.
Augmented reality. So they can receive some visual information.
That the handler can actually see.
Yeah, and right now they can't do this wirelessly, but eventually if it's wireless, then the handler can be at a safe distance.
Yes.
But how about the poor dog?
I know, that was my concern too.
Can't we just use a robot?
I know. I would be so sad if the dog gets hurt.
Military.
But maybe, you know, they will figure something out.
Well, it's still better. Now the soldier and the dog is at risk. At least first the dog is going to be at risk and the human will be okay. Maybe later everyone can stay safe.
You are right, because safety is always number one.
That's right.
Okay, let's learn more about the AR goggles for dogs.
Enjoy.
The Dog in the Fight. AR goggles for dogs. You've heard of seeing eye dogs, but what about seeing through the eyes of dogs? The U.S. military has a new gadget that they believe will save many soldiers' lives. Augmented reality combat goggles for dogs.
Today's lesson is called The Dog in the Fight. AR goggles for dogs. Hi everyone, my name is Jeff and I'm probably just as confused as everyone else here.
Yes.
Goggles for dogs.
Not just goggles, AR goggles for dogs. High-tech goggles for dogs. Okay, well, we'll start by explaining what dogs are. You guys know what a dog is. Okay, we can move on to goggles. Goggles are large protective glasses, right? Scientists might wear them. People who ski wear them. If you're in a very dusty place, if you're swimming, you might wear goggles. It's not quite a mask. It's more like thick, tough glasses that are there to protect your eyes. And if you're really into your computer games, you might have one of those VR headsets, those VR goggles. Those are high-tech kind of looking devices that people wear, and they get computer images put on them. But people wear them, exactly.
Why the dog part, Mike?
I don't know.
Anyways, you've heard of seeing eye dogs.
Sure.
But what about seeing through the eyes of dogs?
Okay, well, a seeing eye dog is a guide.
Blind.
It's a guide dog, right?
They help the blind. They guide them around.
But they use their normal dog eyes and just kind of push against the people or pull them so that they're safe.
Yeah,
that's what a seeing eye dog does.
The seeing eye dog acts as a guide, but the U.S. military has something else in mind. The U.S. military has a new gadget that they believe will save many soldiers' lives. Augmented reality combat goggles for dogs. I'll say that again. Augmented reality combat goggles for dogs.
Cool.
Wow, it sounds like the future has arrived because we have augmented reality combat goggles for dogs.
Well, the future's arrived for dogs.
Oh my gosh.
I don't have any augmented reality or AR combat goggles, so maybe I'll become a dog and join the U.S. Army. Very interesting stuff. Let's take a break, and hopefully we'll be back with a lot more to explain what the heck is going on.
Hello， 大家好，我是 Hanny。今天的课文标题是 The Dog in the Fight AR Goggles for Dogs。哇，狗狗竟然有 AR 护目镜可以用，也太高科技了吧！好，我们看到标题里面的 goggles， 它就是指护目镜。当这个意思来解释时，固定会用复数形。那么 AR 则是 Augmented Reality 的首字母缩写，表示扩增实境。好，那同学们应该也有听过 VR，VR 则是 Virtual Reality 的首字母缩写，用来表达虚拟实境。好，那我们今天的课文其实是要介绍美国军方一种高科技装置，是给狗狗使用的 AR 扩增实境战斗护目镜，听起来就超炫的。那美军认为说这个装置呢，将能够拯救许多士兵的生命。我们赶快回到课文里，看看是怎么一回事。
The Dog in the Fight AR Goggles for Dogs. Armies often use man's best friend to search for hidden explosives or to assist with rescue operations in areas too dangerous for humans. A soldier, known as a handler, usually directs these specially trained dogs with hand signals, laser pointers, or voice commands. However, these require the handler to stay close to the dog and thus close to danger.
So all of this might sound a little bit strange.
No, a lot strange. Not a little, a lot. Big strange.
It sounds big strange.
Big strange.
But here's a fact.
Yes.
Armies often use man's best friend, i.e., they use dogs,
Sure.
to search for hidden explosives or to assist with rescue operations in areas too dangerous for humans.
Sure.
So they're just here, they're just going to find another use for dogs in combat.
Okay.
With AR goggles.
All right, but yeah, sure, armies have worked with dogs, police forces work with dogs to find things, keep people safe as guard dogs, things like that. One of the things, of course, that dogs are great at is finding things with their noses, whether those are drugs or fruit at the airport or saving people in an earthquake
or explosives.
Explosives, another thing that dogs can smell out and keep people safe by using their natural ability. Explosives are things that go boom, things like TNT, dynamite, or plastic explosive, that C4 or whatever it's called. But basically, this is some kind of chemical compound, and if you burn it or make it hot or put electricity or hit it in some way, it goes boom. It releases all this power. It's very dangerous. They use it in mining. They use it in weapons. They use it in bombs and all kinds of stuff like that. But it's dangerous, so that's why dogs can help to find it and keep people safe by smelling it out, sniffing it out. For example, explosive. Last week, police arrested a man for attempting to buy illegal explosives. He wasn't a miner. He wasn't buying it for, some kind of proper purpose. So he went to jail, or he got arrested at least. That's a good thing.
That happened last week.
That's a good thing, yes.
Last week, I rescued Mike. I saved his life.
You did?
His life was in danger, and I showed up and saved his life. I rescued him.
Was I there?
I think so.
Oh, I don't remember that. But okay, go on.
I saved your life, though. Rescue, by the way, you can use this word as a verb, as in I rescued Mike, or you can use it as a noun. It's a rescue operation, you could say. Anyways, for example, several rescue teams were sent to the area to search for the missing fisherman. Yeah, that rescue operation, I call it Operation Rescue Mike.
But what is an operation? It's basically an organized or planned action or something like that. Now, we could talk about it in that sort of hospital way. If the doctors cut you open to fix some problem with your body, that's an operation, right? We talk about the operation room where they do that type of thing. But we can use it in a much bigger way when we talk about people planning out some kind of action, some kind of organized thing that they're doing. They have a goal. Lots of people are involved. They probably thought about the different steps that they're doing. This is the type of thing we're talking about. And you'll see an adjective or another noun in front of it, like a rescue operation. It's a planned action to do something, in the case of a rescue, to save people. For example, a man in his 20s started an operation to clean up the world's oceans. An environmental or ecological operation.
A man in his 30s developed an operation to rescue this guy.
Yeah, no, I don't.
How about that?
All right. Well,
Anyway,
do you have any pictures of that?
I was too busy rescuing you.
Oh, of course.
Oh,
right,
my
right. I
gosh.
should have taken the pictures, but I wasn't there.
Anyways,
Okay.
a soldier known as a handler usually directs these specially trained dogs with hand signals, laser pointers, or voice commands.
Find bomb.
However, these require the handler to stay close to the dog and thus close to the danger. So, both the dog handler and the dog, they're both in danger.
Gotcha.
They need to be rescued, like Mike last week. Anyways, folks, with that, it's time for us to take a break, but don't go away. We'll be back soon.
军队常常会利用狗狗来寻找隐藏的爆猎物，或者是在危险地区来协助救援行动。那么，由于狗狗的嗅觉能力很强，人们就可以利用狗的嗅觉来找出危险物品。我们先补充一下 sniff。sniff 有嗅或是闻的意思，我们可以用 sniff something out 来表达透过嗅觉去找出某事物。好，那这边还有3个单字 explosive， 它是名词，表示爆裂物或是炸药。像 plastic explosive 就是指塑性炸药。那么 Mike 老师有提到 TNT 则是俗称的黄色炸药， TNT 是常见的炸药原料。好，老师还有提到 dynamite， D-Y-N-A-M-I-T-E， dynamite 表示炸药。那我们知道采矿会用到炸药嘛？好，那我们顺便学一下 mining， M-I-N-I-N-G， mining 就可以表达采矿或是矿业。下一个单字 rescue， 它可以当名词或动词来表达救援、营救。那么 operation 可以表达行动、活动、运作，那么它也有手术的意思。好，单字例句写到说，一名20多岁的男子开始清理世界海洋的行动。这时候 Mike 老师用到 environmental 和 ecological 来描述他这样的行动。那么 environmental 就是在环境 environment 后面加上 al 变成形容词，形容环境的、环保的。还有 ecological E-C-O-L-O-G-I-C-A-L 则是形容生态的、生态学的。好，那么作为训练员的士兵们呢，通常会用手势啊，或是雷射笔，或是语音指示来引导那一些经过特殊训练的军犬。不过，因为训练员他们必须靠近军犬才能够给指令，所以这些士兵相对来说也会离危险很近。好，那我们文中用到这个 handler 这个字呢，在这边就是指训练动物的那种驯兽师，尤其是训狗师。还有用到 laser pointer 就是表达雷射笔。接回课文中。
The Dog in the Fight, AR Goggles for Dogs. The new AR combat goggles are designed to allow handlers to stay out of harm's way by communicating with the dogs from a distance. A camera on the goggles allows each handler to see exactly what the dog sees and give instructions in real time. The dogs are trained to follow and react to a visual indicator that the handlers control. Currently, the goggles require the dog to stay wired into a computer. With additional funding, a wireless version could be coming soon, which hopefully will be saving lives on battlefields in the near future.
So, dogs in combat. not a new thing, but dogs need handlers, people who take care of the dogs and tell them what to do. The problem is that in some situations, the handler and the dog are both in harm's way, and this just won't do. So the new AR combat goggles are designed to allow handlers to stay out of harm's way by communicating with the dogs from a distance or at a distance, so they can stay out of harm's way. They can stay out of danger while still telling the dog what to do.
Interesting. And this also allows the dog and the handler to be far away from each other, even in areas where the handler can't see the dog itself. It says a camera on the goggles allows each handler to see exactly what the dog sees and give instructions in real time. So they'll have little cameras next to the dog's head, and the camera will look where the dog is looking. The handler can then watch on a small screen and see where the dog is going, and then give the dog instructions. I guess the dog has earphones or something, and they can give the same voice command, stop, go, whatever they say. Normally, they can still say, even though they're quite far away from the dogs. And of course, this will take special training, and you'll have to teach the dogs how to use this equipment, how to respond in a normal way. It says the dogs are trained to follow and react to a visual indicator that the handlers control. Okay, so basically they're doing their job just at a greater distance.
How about that? How cool is that? By the way, here we have the adjective visual to talk about. When we're talking about seeing and sight, okay, we're talking about something visual, okay? Like your eyes are your visual organs. They're what you see with. For example, my friend was really impressed by the movie's visual effects. What he saw on the screen there with his eyeballs really blew him away. Anyways, currently, the goggles require the dog to stay wired into a computer. I wonder if that constrains them in some way.
Yeah, definitely. If they're still attached to the computer by a wire, obviously then the dog can't go too far, or if it's kind of in an earthquake rescue situation, it couldn't crawl through that broken, damaged building. It would get caught on things, so they'd have to develop, I don't know, Bluetooth or something like that, something wireless technology, but this is still, in the test phase. It says with additional funding, a wireless version could be coming soon, which hopefully will be saving lives on battlefields in the near future. That's the plan. But it says with additional funding, that just means with more money to do more research and testing and find smaller versions and better versions of this equipment. They'll have a wireless, kind of a Wi-Fi or Bluetooth version, which hopefully will be saving lives in the near future. We say hopefully because it hasn't happened yet. And this is an adverb that we use in a way to kind of say, well, not yet, but with a little bit of luck, if everything goes well, if there aren't any big problems or disasters in the future.
Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed. This is what we're thinking, what we're hoping. We need a bit of luck, but we're still fairly confident that it will happen, but not quite yet. For example, hopefully you will recover fully from your illness. If you keep taking the medicine, seeing the doctors, and with a little bit of luck, you'll be fine. We're confident for you. So let's turn to our what do you think question. Here we're talking about AR goggles for dogs. Now, can you think of any other uses for this technology, having AR goggles and maybe animals being, kind of paired up together?
Well, dogs can swim. So I think that AR goggles could also be used to rescue Mike if he's in trouble in the water. I wouldn't even have to rescue him. A dog could do it in the water with these goggles. I'd be in control. I would be the hero, but a dog could do this for me.
But if I was in the water and I was being rescued by an animal with AR goggles, I think an AR goggle-equipped dolphin would be a lot cooler. Could you organize that next time you rescue me?
You know what?
Yeah?
Strike dog. We're striking dog
Yeah.
right now. I'm having a whale
An
rescue
AR.
Mike.
Okay.
Wow.
I will
Awesome.
I will almost drown if you can promise that.
Okay.
All right.
Deal. All right, folks, that's it for our lesson, and it's time for us to say bye-bye.
Be careful.
刚刚说训练员必须靠近军犬才能够给指令，不过现在这种新的 AR 战斗护目镜，让他们可以在远方跟狗狗沟通，那这些训练员士兵们就可以远离危险了。护目镜上面的摄影镜头可以让训练员可以精准看到狗狗所看到的事物，然后可以及时的下达指示。而狗狗也被训练着要遵守并且去回应训练员的视觉指示。好，那么单字 visual 就是形容视觉的视力的。刚刚 Mike 老师说，也许狗狗它们还有耳机之类的装置，可以让他们听到指示指令。那么 earphones 就可以用来表达耳塞式的那种耳机。好，这边还有3个重点。第一个 stay 当连缀动词，它表示保持、维持，后面可以接名词或形容词，像是 It's important to stay calm during a crisis， 在危机中保持冷静是很重要的。第二个重点 What 引导名词子句可以当主词、受词或是主词补语用，用来表达什么什么的事物。What 在这边就相当于 the thing that 或是 the things that。例如 I really appreciate what you did for me。我很感激你为我做的事。那么句中的名词子句 what you did for me 是当受词用。第3个重点Real time 它是表达某事发生的实际时间，我们可以用 in real time 来表达即时。例如 The concert will be streamed in real time on the website。演唱会将会在这个网站上即时串流。好，课文最后写到，目前这一款这种 AR 护目镜需要狗狗跟电脑连线，感觉用电线连接就会限制了狗狗的行动嘛。不过这可能只是在测试阶段，那未来因为有更多的资金，无线版本可能很快就会问世，希望在不久的将来，它可以用在战场上来拯救生命。好，那我们最后来看单字 hopefully。它是副词，用来表达但愿、怀着希望的。那老师们刚才讲到这个限制狗狗的行动，用到 constrain 这个字 constrain 表示限制，还有用到 phase phase 表示阶段或是时期。好，那么以上是今天的讲解，同学们别走开，马上回来哦。
Come taste these bubbles. This is champagne, a type of wine from Champagne, France. It is said that a monk discovered it in the 17th century. A cold winter followed by a warm spring caused the wine to ferment twice. This created lots of bubbles. The first time he drank it, he said, I'm tasting stars. Then, lots of rich people loved champagne and made it popular. Now, people drink champagne on important events, such as weddings and New Year's Day. The most expensive bottle of champagne in the world cost almost $2 million. It even has diamonds on its bottle. You better watch out for those corks, though. The pressure in a bottle of champagne is 3 times the pressure of the air in a tire. That's why champagne corks shoot out of their bottles and make a big popping sound.
See you next time!